Hi, my name is Billy Flowers and welcome to my channel where I talk about velocity banking and how we can use this strategy to massively pay off debt. And before I get started, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. So what are we going to be talking about today? Well, today we have a credit card that we have to pay off and a vehicle. So I'm not even going to waste any time. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with our four key numbers like we always do. We have an income of $5,500. We have our expenses at $4,300, and our debt is $51,500. And our cash flow is at $1,200. That's our most important number, and that's a pretty good cash flow to start off with. Now, we do have a line of credit at $10,000 at a 15% interest rate. And that credit card that I was talking about is for $6,500 at a 24% interest rate, and the current monthly payment is $201.50 per month. And our car payment, we have our debt here, and if you subtract the $6,500, this is a $45,000 car. And that monthly payment is $670.10 per month, and it has a 6.45% interest rate. Now, if we took the interest for the credit card, if we're only going to be paying the minimum monthly payment, it will equal $1,560 for the first year, $130 a month, and 427 cents per day. Now, as you can see down here, I've broken down the first 6 months of the amortized schedule for this car loan. And I've broken it down in interest and the principal. So for the first month, you're going to be paying $242.95 in interest of your $670 monthly payment. Now, I don't know about you. I look at that 6.45% interest rate, and then I'm looking at how much interest I'm getting charged. And I'm going to think to myself, does that look like 6% to you? I mean, just by glancing at it, does that look like 6% to you? Because it doesn't look like 6% to me. But I don't like to just guess. I like to just go and use Google. And if you've been watching my channel for all my videos, you know that you should know what I'm about to do right now. All I'm going to do is go on Google and type in $242.95 is what percent of $670.10. And we're going to see what we're going to get. Let me get my notes right here. And you're going to be, when I seen this percent right here, I was shocked. I almost fell out. But I'm just gonna put the percent here. I'm not gonna put the decimal place. So for this first month, yeah, you're seeing that right there. You're seeing that correctly. 36%. So this interest right here is 36% of your monthly payment for month one. And then I went all the way down to month 6 down here, and let's see how much the percentage dropped. Now we're down to, I'm going to be nice, even though it's 34.5. 34%. So yeah, you went down a couple percents in 2 months or in 6 months, right? So $427 in month 1 is going to go towards the principal, and then in month 2, the interest that you're going to be paying towards the on the car is going to go down a few dollars to $240.65. Now $429.45 is going towards the principal. Month 3, $238.35 is going towards interest. $431.76 is the principal. Month 4, $236.03 in interest. $434.08 going towards the principal. Month 5, $233.69 going towards the interest, and $436.41 going towards the principal. And in month 6, where you're paying 34% of interest, $231.35 is that interest cost, and $438.75 is the amount going towards the principal. So you already know when we're dealing with velocity banking, we don't like these numbers right here. This interest right here, we don't like these numbers. We like to beat these interest costs. We want to keep our interest costs as low as possible. But in this scenario, we have to get rid of some consumer debt first. So we have to get rid of this credit card. So since we have this line of credit right here for $10,000, what are we going to do? Well, our cash flow is over $1,000. It's at $1,200. So I'm going to use the entire line for this scenario. So we're going to use $10,000 to pay off this $6,500 credit card. And we're going to have $3,500 left. So we're going to put that on the principal of the car. And then when we do that, that $3,500 that's going on the card, or on the car, the principal of the car, now the interest is going to drop down to $226.62, and $443.48 is going to go towards the principal, and that's going to push our amortized schedule out to August of 2025, just by putting $3,500 on the principal. And you can see the difference in the interest. It's not too big of a jump, but it's still something. I'll take it. Now, since we are paying off this credit card, what's going to happen? Well, since we no longer have this monthly payment right here, right? This monthly payment is going away. Our expenses are going to go down. That monthly payment of $201.50. So that's going to put our expenses down to $4,098.50. I know it's squished right there, but sorry about that. And then, of course, our most important number on the board, I can't read it. Oh, our cash flow. What's going to happen? We're going to get some more cash flow, right? So our cash flow is also going to go up that $250. So now we're going to be at $1,401.50 in cash flow. That quick. Month 1. We already got $200 more in cash flow. So now we have, in month 1, we have our $10,000 out on our line that paid off our credit card and put $3,500 on the principal of our car. So what are we going to do? Well, we have our income of $5,500. So that's going to go into the line, driving that balance down to $4,500. And then our new expenses of $4,098.50 is going to be coming out of the line, raising that balance right back up to $8,598.50. And then we're going to get charged $120 in interest. Remember, this line is at a 15% interest rate, and I took the interest off of the high balance at the beginning of the month of $10,000. And that's going to raise the balance up to $8,723.50 at the end of month 1. Then month 2 rolls around. What are we going to do? We're going to repeat the same process. We're going to put our income in of $5,500. Our expenses are coming out of $4,950, raising that balance up to $7,322. And then interest that we're going to get charged is $109.04. Again, off the beginning balance. Then $7,431.04 is going to be the balance at the end of month 2. So on month 3, income in, expenses out. Now our interest is already under $100 at $92.84. $6,122.43 is the balance at the end of month 3. Month 4, income in, expenses out, interest charge. $4,797.46 is the balance at the end of month 4. Now, since our balance is under what our income that we've been putting in, what I like to do is flip time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have on the board, I'm going to have the expenses come out first on the board, and then I'm going to have our income go in second, just so you can see the line going down to 0, and we don't have any negative numbers, or I'm putting in the exact amount, and we're going to have a difference, anything like that, less math. So we're going to have less room for errors. So this is what I like to do. So we're going to have our expenses come out first, $4,098.50, raising that balance up to $8,895.96. Then we're going to have our income going in. Look at that balance right there. $3,995.96. $59.97 is the interest. Ending balance of $3,455.93 at the end of month 5. Then in month 6, we have our expenses coming out. Remember, our expenses includes all our bills throughout the month, this includes the car payment. It's in this expense number, so don't forget that. It's going to raise that balance up to $7,554.43. Income going in, lowering that balance down to $2,054.43. $43.20 in interest. $2,097.63 is the balance at the end of month 6. Month 7, repeat. Income, repeat. Expenses, income, interest charge. $7,700. See, it's going so fast, I can't even think right. $722.35 is the balance at the end of month 7. Isn't that crazy? 7 months. We went from $10,000, now we're down to $700. Ooh-wee. All right, month 8. What we gonna have it? What we got here? We got our expenses coming out, raising that balance up to $4,820.85. You already know that's lower than our income, so we're gonna put in that exact amount, zero this out. 8 months, we're done. We wiped out the credit card, and we wiped out the $3,500 we put on the principal of the car. And as you can see here, there's between $5,500 and $4,800, we're gonna have a little bit of money left, but I'm not even gonna factor in any of that right now. So now what are we gonna do? Well, we got rid of our credit card. That's free and clear. So now we got $10,000 of our line of credit that we can work with. So what are we gonna do? Well, so we're gonna take $10,000 and we're gonna put it on the principal of our car. Now, mind you, it took us 8 months to pay this credit card off. So after 8 months, it's going to push the schedule out until what is that? March of 2026, right? And our balance on the car is going to be $38,500. That's going to be the balance on our car after we make 8 months of payments. So we're going to take $10,000 on our first chunk, and that's going to put us down to around $28,700. And that's going to push the schedule out even further to November of 2027. Now look at the interest and what's going towards the principal. You see that right there? $157.55 is going towards the interest now, and $512.55 is going towards the principal per month. This is just to start out. This number is going to keep going lower, and this number is going to keep going higher. This is just the first month when we're starting out. So what we going to do now? We're going to repeat the same process. So we're going to go through another 8 months, same exact numbers. We're going to go through 8 months. We're going to pay this down, another 8 months. So if we pay this another 8 months, our regular monthly payments is going to take the balance down to around $25,100. We're going to be at 6 June of 2028 now. So what are we going to do? We're going to repeat the same process. Now we're going to take another $10,000 chunk because it's free and clear again. It's going to put the balance down to $15,000. Let me say $15,000. This is $15,050. Going to take us out to December of 2029. Now look at what's going towards the interest, and look what's going towards the principal. Now we're under $100 that's going towards interest, $84.05. So we're going to do this same exact scenario for another 8 months. We're going to zero out the line. Once that 8 months is gone, now we're only going to have around, with our regular monthly payments, mind you, we've been paying our monthly payments this whole time, we're going to be around $10,800 left on the car. Now, like I said, remember how much money that we're going to have left over after each chunk? Now, if you factored in the difference between $5,500 and $4,800, we're talking about, I'm going to lowball it. I'm just going to say $500. And we did 3 chunks. So that's $1,500. That's going to cover this extra $800 easy. So what I did is I figured that this last chunk right here, this last $10,000 chunk, is going to pay off the car. Because we're going to easily have that $800. That ain't nothing. Because even with these interest charges, you remember I charged more. I put more on the interest charges on this entire time. So this $800 right here, we're not even going to worry about that. $10,000 paying off the car. Now the car's done. So if the car's done, that means our monthly payment is done, right? So now we about to get $670.10 back in our pocket. So now what we're going to do, we're going to subtract, right? We're going to subtract $670.10. Let me get my marker to work right here. And now our expenses are going to be $34.28.40. And what else is going to happen? We're going to get some more cash flow, right? Of course we are. Of course. The most important number on this board Now, whew, $670.10. Isn't that crazy right there? What is our cash flow gonna be now? What's our cash flow gonna be now? Whew. Wow. All right, I just wanted to double check. Come on, marker. Whew. See that right there? Wow. Crazy. So look at that right there. Actually, I made a mistake. It's not. That should be a 1 right there. It should be a 1. Should be a 1. $71. You know, we gotta make sure we get every cent. Now look at that cash flow. $2,071.10. So now, since we have $10,000 out again, $10,000 out again, now we're going to be using our last cash flow plus the cash flow we gained from the monthly payment on the car, and we're going to use that to pay down this new $10,000 that we have out on the line of credit. So now our monthly payment of our car is going to work for us instead of against us. So what are we going to do? We're going to put our income of $5,500 in, lowering that balance down to $4,500. Now look at them new expenses. $3,428.40, lowering that balance down to $7,028.40, $125 in interest, remember, off the high beginning balance. $8,053.40 is the balance at the end of month 1. Month 2, repeat. Income in, expenses out, interest charge, $6,082.47. And then in month 3, we're going to have our income in, expenses out, interest charge, $4,086.90 at the end of month 3. And now, since our balance is under what we put in, we're going to flip the numbers on the board. Expenses are going to come out first. Income is going to go in. $50.09 is the interest. $2,066.39 is the balance at the end of month 4. Month 5, $34.28.40 of expenses is coming out. Look at that balance right there. It's squeaking under our $5,500. $5,494.79. We're going to put in that exact amount, zero this out, 5 months, we're done. Notice with our increased cash flow. So now we went from paying $10,000 off in 8 months. Now we're down to 10 months. 5 months. 10 months. 5 months. See the difference of what cash flow does? We shaved off 3 months. You can't get that time back. That's what cash flow does. It gets you your time back. That's what you want. So, let's see here. We paid off the credit card, 8 months. We did 2 chunks to pay down $20,000 on the car, right? 2 chunks. That's another 16 months. And plus another 5 months for this last chunk. So we're talking about, put it over here, 29 months. 29 months. We're done. Isn't that crazy? 29 months. You paid off $51,500. We're talking about less than 3 years here, people. Less than 3 years, you paid all that debt off. You wouldn't even thought that was possible doing what you normally do. You would still be paying on this car after 29 months. You know you would be. So I went ahead and we're going to go back to school for a minute. Added up the interest cost for our line of credit. So each one of these 8-month chunks, $532.85. We did 3 of those. Remember, 1 was for the credit card and 2 was for the actual car, the vehicle. Equals $1,598.55. And then this last chunk of 5 months is $352.79. And look at that right there, $1,951.34 is the total. And if you type that in, if you type $1,951.34 is what percent and how much credit did we use? So we did 3 chunks of $10,000, so that's $30,000 plus this last chunk, $40,000. And you're going to be surprised of what you see. So what are we going to get here? Type that in your calculator or on Google. $4.88%. So that's the percent that you actually paid on the line of credit. 4.88%. Not what it said. Remember, it said 15%. This is what you actually paid using $40,000. See, that's the power of velocity banking. That's the power of chunking. Not only did you eliminate interest paying on the vehicle of your monthly payment, you also eliminated interest that you're paying on the line of credit. Why? Because you were dumping all of your income into the line and just taking out your expenses. Cash flow stays in, keeps the balance as low as possible every single month, meaning that you're going to be paying less interest. And remember how I calculate the interest on these lines of credit. I always take the interest off of the beginning balance of the month, which is always the highest. And you know it's not going to be that high because your income is going in and it's going to push that balance down. Your bills aren't going to all come out the same day. That's just the way it is on the board. You're going to beat these numbers. And I want you to beat these numbers. 4.88% on the high side. I might have even made some math mistakes on here, so it could be lower than this. And I didn't even factor in, you got a credit card here collecting rewards. If I just lowballed it and just did $1,000 on the credit card, we know you're going to be charging more than $1,000. That's at 1%, that's $10 a month. 1.5, that's $15 a month coming off of this. And you're talking about if we shaved, let's just say we did that for 25 months. This shaved 4 months off of this. 10 times 25, that's $250 off of this interest cost here. Easy. So you're going to be under 4% easy if we follow this. But that's it. So this is how you pay off $51,500 of debt, starting off with $1,200 of cash flow. So you paid off a credit card, and now you're riding around with the pink slip of your new car. So I just want to thank all of you for watching, and I want to thank all of you for your support. I know this concept can be confusing at first, but once you get it, once it clicks up here, I'm telling you, it will change your life. It'll change the way you think about paying off debt. All you have to do is take some time, figure out your 4 key numbers, and then you're good to go. Get a piece of paper, write this stuff down, and if you don't get it, just write it down. Follow my videos. Plug in your own numbers as I'm going through this. And do it yourself. And just add up. Just do it exactly how I'm doing it. Even if you get paid weekly or bi-weekly, you know how much you make a month. So just add up all the income that you make per month. You're going to have a number. Then you're going to have all your expenses, your debt, and your cash flow. And then you're going to calculate the interest on it every month. And I like to take the interest off of the high beginning balance. So all you're going to do is go on your calculator, $10,000, and we have a 15% interest rate on the line of credit. $10,000 times 15, hit the percent sign, and you're going to get a number. You're going to divide that number by 12, and that's going to give you your interest cost. That's your monthly payment. And you're going to do that for every month on the beginning balance, on every month. Repeat the same thing. That's all you have to do. Write it down. I'm telling you, once you write it down and once it clicks, you're going to get it. You're going to be like, wow, this is amazing. I know this could be difficult. I know it can. But once you get it, you're going to realize how simple it actually really is. It really is simple when you think about it. It really is simple. It's only 3 numbers. You're talking about your income, expenses, interest charge. That's it. Addition and subtraction. And you can use your calculator for all of this. That's what's amazing. You don't have to do no math in your head or nothing. You can do all of this on your calculator, which is amazing. So like I said again, I just want to thank all of you for watching. I want to thank all of you for your support. I really enjoy doing this. I love writing these scenarios on the board and seeing how everything breaks down and just showing you that there is a way. I know some of you think that you have all this debt and there's no way you can get out of it. There's a way. You just have to take the time to see. Open your eyes, open your mind. And we can do this. All of you can do this. All I'm asking is for you to take that first step, because that first step is usually the hardest one. Take that first step and let's do this journey together. Year 2025, we're about to tackle this debt, get out of debt, so we can start doing other things with our money and controlling our money instead of our money controlling us. Let's do this. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And like I always say, get that cash flow.